Greetings, geeks, and welcome to Geeks in Space number 670. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me today in Pretend Low Earth Orbit, I have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, I suppose you're all wondering why we've gathered here this morning.
Yes. Do you have special news for us?
Yeah, breaking news. Did either of you watch the second Cowboy Bebop trailer?
I saw this one.
Yeah.
About the Lost Session.
This is the one that where they interact with the framing in the scene.
It's really fun.
It is one of the coolest little short things that I have ever seen. Very cool.
Yeah, I'll shut off the sound. But yeah, it was super fun. Like they end up using here's an example. Wait for it.
Grab the bar, slide it over.
There's one where they use the bar as actually like a staff.
As a bow staff. If you watch, the line between the frame shrinks as it's thrown back to a character who then grabs it and then whips it, and there you go. This is
it's right
it's that
Ready?
shot.
And go.
Kick.
Grab.
Grabs the line through it, gets skinny, and then it angles and he catches it. But
such a fun trailer.
That whole trailer.
This level of creativity to the whole thing.
Yeah. If they achieve that once per, for 2 minutes per episode, they're going to have something special. Not like Why the Last Man.
Oh, yeah.
Which did not even make it a full season.
Yeah, I think they even canceled it early.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I love the comic, but I have to be honest with you. You had to make real changes to make it work on TV, and I don't think they did.
I would love to.
Go ahead.
I hadn't watched any of it, so
yeah.
That's what I was saying. It's probably our fault we didn't watch it.
Chris is a bit low. You mean volume-wise, Amblue?
Yeah. I can probably bring you guys up a little bit.
No, I can do
it. Actually, I think Rob's a bit low too. You're both low, and yeah.
Oh, volume on. Okay, I can up my gain. I turned it down. I had done a podcast and I was peaking apparently.
Peaking. We peak here all the time. That's kind of our thing.
We're the peakiest.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that should have fixed it there. So maybe I don't know.
Thanks, Amblue and Chris.
Thanks, Christopher. Thanks, Amblue. Thanks, back.
Remember to smash that like button. Subscribe. Join our Patreon.
Buy HelloFresh with the code.
Get me undies.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Buy our Geeks in Space toothpaste.
Our merch.
Yeah, merch.
Check out our merch store.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because it's not true.
So this is a great trailer, though. Let's all enjoy that.
No, for sure. That's like the thing that they did before. I was like, whatever. That was cool. So I have hope.
Joyful.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all need a little bit of joy this week.
We do.
So much. Guys, my tank is empty.
We absolutely could use some joy.
Well, you know who also could use some joy is Alec Baldwin.
Oof.
Yes.
Wow.
Imagine being the guy holding the gun that kills people, That stinks. That just stinks,
They haven't really
It stinks worse for the people that died.
Yeah.
But they haven't released any findings yet because I'm sure it's way too soon and stuff. But from what I've heard, it sounds like it's the same thing that happened on The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that blanks aren't safe, really.
They aren't inert.
It's just the actual bullet itself, because we call the cartridge bullets, but the actual bullet itself is gone.
Yeah.
And it's still the powder charge, so it still has all that energy.
Yeah.
If there's anything inside the barrel of the gun you're using,
or if there's some paper wadding from the packaging,
if it's not cleaned out after uses and stuff, it can be deadly, and that apparently is what happened here.
Yeah, and even it's like, I guess in the Brandon Lee shooting, the primer cap itself was expelled. And it's what killed him. And it's like, it's like, because the primer should hit the gunpowder, and that should be it. right? So, but even then, like little grains of gunpowder that don't get lit up are gonna fly
They're going
out like a little
fast.
teeny, gunpowder shotgun. It's
Dangerous business. This business of show.
But yes, I can't imagine what that would be like to be the dude holding the prop gun, shooting it, and then killing someone.
And the crazy thing here is, it was the director of photography, which, like,
right behind the camera, right next to her was the director.
right. I mean, like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's what, like, it'd be a different thing if you're like shooting an actor or something. They were going for something weird, or they were rehearsing, or somebody just plain screwed up.
Or he was just screwing around with the prop gun too. That's
I think this was one of those shots where they're like, it's the shoot into the camera sort of shot.
That would be plausible.
Which is very Western of them,
Based on zero information, this is what we're calling it.
Right.
Yeah, it just stinks.
Well, we do know that it was a prop gun and it was a blank that killed her.
Yeah.
So we do have some information. We just don't know the specifics.
So apparently, a prop gun is one that cannot fire. Right, so it's a plastic gun. It's a gun without a firing pin. It's a gun without a chamber. This is a gun.
Yeah,
gun.
And it's they thought it was
a gun.
Saved. This is the thing. It's like I don't know if any of my kids are going to get into acting or whatever, but it's like, they've all been trained.
But you hope
like,
not.
If there's a gun, it's loaded.
Yeah.
Period. End of sentence. It will kill someone when it goes off.
We grew up in a part of the country where guns are very common.
Yep.
For hunting and
same
so
thing with
forth.
Franny.
And,
when she was born in Placerville, there's guns everywhere. They've been like handed out at Safeway.
Yeah. So I grew up around guns. Most of my friends grew up around guns. I still have quite a few guns. But growing up, I've known a couple people who've gotten seriously hurt. I know one person who accidentally killed himself. Messing around with a gun and knew better. It's just, man, you have to be very, very careful. It's nothing to mess around with.
You really, really do. And like, yeah. I mean, it's like, I'm thinking about people who intentionally tried to kill themselves. It's like, it's like guns are everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, I'd imagine someone like Alec Baldwin in the film industry. I hate to say it, but this is going to keep happening every 30 years or so, every 20 years or so. They're just going to get too comfortable. They're going to forget that these things are extremely deadly.
Yeah.
And it's just going to keep happening.
That's the problem, right? It's the you've been doing it so long, the shooting blank. So, you don't worry about it. You let your guard down, but you have to really, really be safe.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, but yeah, Why the Last Man?
Yep. Oops.
Yeah. So Why the Last Man? I just think, it's one of those adaptations that you have to have terrific actors all around. And they had a couple of good ones, like Agent 355 was good. Yorick was kind of dull, Hero was good. His sister.
I'm going to still watch a couple episodes, see how it goes.
And Diane Lane's fun, but honestly, she wasn't that good in this. And it's like,
Yay.
Yeah. So the comparison I made with my wife, we were talking about it. She told me about this. Was with Handmaid's Tale. So Handmaid's Tale, it's a grind. It's so hard to watch because it's so grim, but boy, it's perfectly filmed, perfectly acted, perfectly paced, perfectly scripted.
I got to tell you, I couldn't watch I really enjoyed the first season, but I was like, I don't need this kind of sadness in my life right now.
But as an adaptation, it's incredibly compelling, right? And Why the Last Man, with a couple of tweaks to the story, could have been that. But they went full, Cult in the Costco Amazons, and it's like, this isn't going to work. So,
well, c'est la vie.
Yep.
I still want to watch an episode just to see how they set it up. But
I'm going to finish the trailing bits of it, but that's because of the vow. No, it's I love the comic. I want to watch the rest of it.
Yeah. We have yet another update on Pablo Escobar's hippos.
Yes.
Roseman, I have to ask, at some point, are you secretly living in Colombia and are the hippo like wrangler for the nation state of Colombia?
I'm the mouth of hippo. Colombia. No, this one actually has to do with the last story, in that I guess the chemical they were giving the hippos so that they would not have more hippos. Some animal rights activists were like, there's a better contraceptive that we can give these hippos. This one
Cocaine.
is really dangerous. So they've been working in the country to do this, and then they figured out that they could go to the states and make a case that hippos are legally people. Now, that has been tried a couple times in the United States. I think most recently with someone trying to prove that a chimpanzee had personhood so that they would stop the scientific and medical experiments on chimps.
Yeah, Legal Eagle did a when people, are trying to make animals real,
Right.
people and not property. Right.
They also
You mean the
also
island
did
of Dr. Moreau?
They also did it with an elephant. There was a case with an elephant they were trying to get personhood.
Yeah.
And both those cases, the courts decided, no, I'm not willing to be the court that decides that the animal's a person and then have that be my legacy. But some dude in Ohio yesterday was like, all right, you convinced me, hippos are people. So for the first time, they've given an animal personhood legally. In the United States, they've agreed that these hippos are persons. How that could possibly affect Colombia, I think that's where they haven't put the bridge yet, other than making news about it again. But
do they get to vote?
No. I think they just get the inherent legal protections that any person would. So you can't experiment on them. They
you can't castrate them just because they're rummaging around the countryside eating people.
Yeah. So, but the people who put this case forth are using it so that the Colombian government will switch to the less dangerous chemical contraceptive. That's really all it's for. So,
no, they have to switch to oral contraceptives. So you have to track down every hippo, give them the pill every day.
So they're giving them shots now and not inserting IUDs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is there like Norplant, like that coil that you put under your skin for hippos? Hippo plant.
That's what I'm saying. That's what made it so dangerous.
Yeah. No. The real problem was it was actually Plan B. So they had to monitor the sexual activities of all the hippos and visit them the day after, knock them out, give them Plan B.
That's okay. Gary likes to watch.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure they'd have no problem finding someone who is like, a hippo sex monitor along the river. I'm sure they would have a line of people waiting to do that.
Oh, good God.
Sign me up.
All the worst people, which you could probably find on Donald Trump's new social network, Truth.
Which is going fine.
Yeah.
So what happened was, he paid it looks like a Chinese outfit to stand up a Mastodon-based social network, which he called Truth. And so a bunch of people are like, hey, that's Mastodon. And so they opened up the URLs for creating accounts that were not exposed yet. But they were active. And so they started creating like thousands of Donald J. Trump accounts, with different usernames and posting pictures, the pig picture with the poop on the scrotum. So it's going exactly as you thought it would.
Yeah.
Basically,
See, this is the thing that, and this is actually near and dear to my heart, right? Like, we built a system once and we had a couple of years to like harden it. Because nobody was paying attention to it on day one. It's got to be real hard to build a system like this. But like the mere fact that there's a whisper of its existence, every prankster in the universe, like, can you imagine if every troll from 2004 of Slashdot, where we were getting daily thousands of bot attacks, can you imagine if all of that energy was redirected to a brand new site on day one? That's gotta suck. Now, that said, They also had
isn't
a
it
clause.
sucking for absolutely the right people?
They also had a clause in their terms of service which said something to the effect of, you can't use our platform to criticize or make fun of us. So,
delicate snowflakes. That's
right?
who they are.
Freedom of speech only extends so far, gentlemen.
That's right.
If only we had that policy back in the day, and we could have just deleted anything that was said anything mean about us, man, I think it would have been a little more cathartic.
Well, what's funny is I've had a number of people over the last couple of days, because my work is around open source compliance, and they're like, "Oh, they're out of compliance. Somebody should go after it." I'm like, no. Well, what we should do as a community? We should back away slowly. Just back away slowly. Let it all happen.
Let the dumpster fire burn off its fuel.
This is like when, I've had people come up to me. They're like, the Chinese government is doing this and this and this. We should force them to open up software with the GPL. I'm like, no. You should just back away slowly, because you're not going to get the outcome you think you are. And so, people have been like, well, they're out of compliance with the open source code is based on. It's like, actually, technically they're not, because it's AGPL code, and the AGPL provides 30 days to repair. So in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, then you'll have a complaint. So, but the thing is, I don't want to be in the position of either defending these jackasses or, back away slowly.
Not a conversation that I want to be a part of.
No. Open source cannot be part of this discussion. But then it's Mastodon. These guys, they host all the Nazis and the freedom fighters and the activists and the...
Well, that's the thing, right?
The pornographers. It's like...
Turns out, when you're hardcore freedom of speech, it means that a lot of shitty speech gets spoke, and you have to bite your tongue.
Yeah. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised that Mastodon was their choice.
Yep. I think
is that the long and short of what we got?
Yeah. That was
kind
our
of
list.
a slow news couple days. We talked about the Russians having that messed up thruster.
Their accidental flippy flip.
Did the ship deliver those astronauts to Earth since? I mean, because this is the one so it's a Soyuz MS-18. Okay, so let's take a look.
I didn't see if they actually sent the people down that they were planning on sending down.
I don't think it's due yet to do that. Let's take a look. All right.
Well, I know one of you.
No. Soyuz MS-18 undocking from the International Space Station, like literally like right after the broadcast last time.
There you go.
So I'm guessing. Let me go to the Wikipedia page. Kapoomp. Looks like, returned to Earth on the 17th of October after 991 days in space. Boom.
Rob, is Dune a thumbs up or down from you?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I would give. Well, here's the thing about Dune, right? Dune.
Where's Bates?
Dune is not a movie that someone who is not interested in Dune is likely to be interested in. Let's just put that there. There's a lot going on. There's politics going on. There's lots of stuff to remember. It is a hard one for you to get into if you're already not invested in getting into it. I think the best thing that Dune could have done is to have some sort of Games of Thrones-ish sort of release where it's put out in hours and you get to watch 12 hours of Dune.
Yeah. Here's one day of Atreides, one day of Harkonnen, one day of
If you're trying to smash it all into one, you run into trouble. And this one, I think, avoids lots of the trouble that the David Lynch version runs into. They cut it off about halfway through where the Lynch movie starts, right?
Yeah.
And it's still 2.5 hours long.
Right at the start of the montage.
I personally don't envision Paul as being as frail and emo as he kind of is in this movie. But other than that, I really, really like this version.
Cool.
I think they did You know, like people who read the books, there'll be some differences, and there'll be comparisons to certain scenes in the Lynch version that maybe are better, but it's mostly like personal preference kind of thing. Overall, I think they made smart decisions, and I understand why they made some of the decisions they did. Yeah, and for me, the ornithopters are fantastic.
Are they? That's exciting.
I love how the ornithopters look, how they work. It's great. I would probably, you know, I don't know if I would change anything in this version of Dune, to tell you the truth.
Huh.
My only question is this going to be popular enough? I'm not sure it's exciting enough if you don't know the story, or if you're not interested in it already, to have a sequel. Do you know what I mean? Because I assume they have to hit a threshold before the sequel comes out, before they actually start putting work into it.
Well, plus because this is one of those releases, you know, on simultaneously to theaters and HBO. It's not going to just be a matter of us being able to look at a box office return and say, look, it had a $30 million opening weekend, it's done, or it had a $110 million weekend, it's going to come back for a sequel.
Right. Yeah. It's, in my opinion, it is for sure the best version of Dune
that's been
on the screen. Although I don't think that's a particularly high mark.
Right.
You know?
I watched several episodes of that Sci-Fi Channel TV show, and that was garbage.
Yeah. But besides that, I really like this. I like the characters. The Baron is great in this.
Oh, I bet. I'm really looking forward to the Baron.
The Baron is much less like a cartoon comedy fixture. He is absolutely terrifying. The way he should be.
Here's my question for you then. Is it good enough that you're going to come and see it again on Monday with us?
I'm not sure. A lot of that depends on what happens here at the house.
I understand.
I Googled for Baron Harkonnen. Truth. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right. Yeah. Screenshotted.
That's funny. Yeah, but I mean, he looks horrific in this movie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is good in this.
And apparently
I was the Beast Raban.
Apparently the new Halloween is garbage.
Oh, Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah, I watched that and it was awful.
So I just watched it's this week's How Did This Get Made movie. And it's called Uninvited.
Oh.
And it's the story of a demonic cat that is murdering people on a yacht. And it is the most 80s thing I've seen in a while. And I kind of think
I'm sorry,
it's
a cat infected with a genetically engineered virus.
Okay, fine. It's murdering people and like an alien thing comes out of it. Like a little bat thing comes out of its mouth and kills people.
Whoa.
Yeah, like it's horrible. But, you know, it's also like not that long and kind of funny.
And it's not that long, so that's good.
Well,
it's got that going for it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing with so many of those 80s schlock movies is if you're 90 minutes long, I'll watch almost anything if it's 90 minutes long.
Just a question, has the movie Night of the Lepus showed up in the How Did It Get Made?
Nope.
Because that is literally a movie about giant murderous rabbits.
All right, I'm looking it up.
It's worth pointing out the creator, the screenwriter, director, producer, and actor in this movie is the same one who did he did Electric Boogaloo, Breaking 2. He did Dracula versus Frankenstein.
So he's like a canon alumni.
Oh yeah, he did Joysticks. Remember
I never saw that.
The teen sex comedy about an arcade?
I did. No, but now that I know that this exists, I have to look it up.
He also did Lambada, the Forbidden Dance.
I seen that too.
Yeah. So, you know,
Joysticks? Joe Don Baker.
Joe Don Baker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, guess what I'm watching this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's only an hour 27.
Oh yeah, it's a 70s sci-fi horror movie. Yeah. You know, They're made to be played as double features
Yeah.
at the drive-in.
Yeah, it looks like his
So-
last movie was Without Warning. Sandy and Greg are teenagers who go camping, despite warnings not to, with their friends. They soon encounter aliens.
I thought the movie was called Without Warning.
Without warning, right?
The very first line tells you they were warned.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, come on, check out your own abstract, teens.
Yeah.
We can't be troubled to read the back of our own box.
So in good movies, there was a movie called Dead Calm. Did you ever see it?
Sounds
You know,
familiar.
because you
Yes.
mentioned that the cat was on a boat, right? So imagine the killer cat on a boat, but instead of it being a killer cat, it's a crazy Billy Zane.
I don't want to watch a
And
Billy
he's trying
Zane
to
movie.
kill Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
It's really good, right? So
This is actually a good movie.
it's seriously great. Yeah, I really
1989,
liked it when
huh?
I saw it.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll add that to my list.
Yep.
I've watched some doozies in the last couple of weeks.
Honestly, you know, watching this and watching other things, it's like, how did Billy Zane not become super popular?
I think The Shadow ruined him.
Yeah, you know, you're probably right. The Shadow was just crap. No, the Phantom. The Phantom.
Oh, that's
not
what I
the
meant.
Shadow.
Yeah, The
The
Shadow
Shadow
was
was
Alec Baldwin. You know that guy.
Almost killed Alec
that guy
Baldwin
who
for it.
shot his DP in the face.
Boy,
Wow.
it's tough.
That's so
All right, well,
crappy.
what a good Friday we've got here, fellas.
We're filled with happy and joy. You know what I can do though? We can celebrate.
I already took down the.
Oh, you already took on your fireworks. All right,
All
no
right.
fireworks.
I can find it.
I think it's gonna be all right. Thanks for hanging out, Mr. Rob Roseboom
Indeed. I'll see you later.
and Chris DeBona.
Yeah.
All right. I was Rob Commander Taco Maldo. That was Geeks in Space. We'll see you Tuesday. Bye.